Before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsors, gumballheaven.com. If you have a business, a store, or just need a bubblegum machine, check out their website, gumballheaven.com, and you'll get the best gumballs and gumball machine in the world.
And we would also like to thank Miguel Hernandez Law.com, the best lawyers in California. If you do a lot of drugs, get into trouble, make poor decisions like robbing banks, or if you get arrested and are innocent, give them a call. MiguelHernandezLaw.com. If you need a lawyer, you need them.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Unlikely Survivors podcast. I'm Caden.
And I'm Julie, and we are the and we are the Twister Sisters.
Today we have the most wonderful man in the world. I'm trying to think of another word, but they don't really fit. Fantastic isn't enough. Phenomenal isn't enough either.
The best. Handsome.
That's not enough either.
Awesomely handsome.
Okay, I guess that works.
Handsome times infinity.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I've been a long day, but I'm here.
Caden, if you look up handsome in the dictionary, picture of Papa will show up.
Don't forget awesome and fabulous. Could you introduce yourself? Your real name?
Yes, my name is Miguel Hernandez, and I live in Salinas, California.
Mm-hmm.
I am a lawyer, and I've been one for 40 years in January coming up.
Oh, wow. That's how awesome you are. So, to start off the interview, where were you born?
I was born in the state of Texas, in the city of San Antonio, where the Alamo is.
I didn't know that.
How about that?
They were born in California. Wow. I really need to look this stuff up.
I was raised in California.
Ah, okay.
Me too.
Me too.
And I am still being raised. Okay, next question. Who are your parents?
My mother's name is Guadalupe Alvarez, and her last name now is Bonilla. And my dad's name was Miguel Hernandez. I'm a junior.
Aww.
Yep.
I didn't know that either.
He passed away when I was about 22 years old, which was about 47 years ago.
That's a shame.
I'm sorry.
Could you tell us more about your parents?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, the story about my dad is it's not too good. He left our little family, my older brother, myself, and my younger sister. He left us when we were quite young. I was, I think, 3 years old. My younger sister was about 2, and my older brother was about 4. And my mother moved us to California when I was about 5 years old, going on 6. And I met my father one time when I was about 6 years old, and I met him out on the sidewalk outside my grandmother's house in Fresno, California. We talked for about 10 minutes, and that's the last time I ever talked to him. It was a nice conversation, but never talked to him again. He sent me a graduation card when I was about to graduate from high school, said he was proud of me, but I never got to see him again. When I was ready to go look for him, my aunt told me, oh, he died 2 years ago, and nobody had told me. So I never got to know him, but my mother raised me, and she raised me with a lot of rules. I did everything based on knowing what my mom liked and disliked, and I avoided all the dislikes.
It shaped you into the grandpa you are today. The wonderful and amazing.
Handsome.
Okay, yes. Can't forget that.
Fabulous.
And the adorable smile. I love your smile. You and Dad share the
Yay.
same smile, and it's so adorable when I look at you guys' pictures.
Do I share the smile?
No.
No. Papa, I don't know if that's water that water is yours, but could you move it off the desk down to here?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a bit about your grandparents and who they are?
Yes. My grandfather on my mother's side is named Vincent Alvarez, and he passed away a long time ago. And my grandmother's name was Guadalupe Alvarez, and she died 1 year to the day later after my grandfather died. My grandfather died when I was 17 on a date, and then my grandmother died the same day the following year. And they were my grandfather was a janitor, and my grandmother was a housewife. I always remember her in the kitchen cleaning and cooking. Anytime we went to go visit, she always welcomed me in, sat me down, and fed me. She was a wonderful woman, and she was always so nice to me. And my grandfather was really pleasant too. I didn't get to know them very well, but I did enjoy them. And I knew them from the age of about 5 till 17 and 18, and that's when I lost them. And they lived in Fresno, and they were both born in Mexico. My mother was born in Texas, so she was first generation American on that side. And my dad Texas became a state. All the residents of Texas were citizens of the United States. And so I'm about 5 or 6 generations American on my dad's side.
Oh, interesting. What's your best memories with your grandparents?
Best memories with my grandparents are 2. Whenever I would go visit, and my grandfather or my grandmother were going to go shopping, it was usually my grandfather. He'd ask me if I wanted to go along, and I'd jump into the car with him, and boy, it was wonderful going to the grocery store with my grandfather. He picked out all kinds of neat things, fruits and candies and things that he could give me. Occasionally he would buy me a soda. And my grandmother was the same way. If I was there and she wanted to go shopping, I'd go walking with her to the grocery store, which wasn't very far away, and I would carry the bags home for her. And shopping with my grandparents was a very, very pleasant memory in my lifetime.
That's cute. You know, okay. Whenever I think about it, it sounds really adorable.
I see. And my memory with you, one of the best memories, was when you took me to the Hobbit movie. Do you remember?
I do remember that.
Wait, you took me?
No.
Dad
took you.
No, I went with Dad and then went with Grandpa.
The last movie. The third one with the dragon.
I saw that one too.
Yeah, but I saw that one with Grandpa.
And there are times when I go more than once to the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
because your dad and I are both movie nuts. We love to go to movies.
Geeks.
Movie fanboys.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Do you remember when you were a young boy before you went to school?
I do. I remember living in San Antonio. Remember I used to run around barefooted, and I'd always cut my feet and I'd get hurt. But I remember very well growing up. Before I went to school, my older brother went to school in Texas, but I never got to go because about that time my mom moved us all to California, and I didn't start going to school until I lived in California. I was 6 years old, and I went into the first grade. Never went into kindergarten.
Oh.
Missed it.
Did I ever? I remember kindergarten. Yeah. Just a little.
I didn't have, kids that went to kindergarten took naps, and I never took a nap. I was always, from day one I was in school. I was just busy doing schoolwork.
Did you like it?
No naps. I loved school. I loved it. Every day I just felt like I was a sponge, just soaking up everything the teachers were telling me. In fact, when I went to school for the very first day, I remember this memory very vividly. My mom took me into the classroom, told the teacher, who was standing in front of all the other students, "This is my son," and the teacher showed me to a desk, And I sat down, and my mom walked out, and my heart went, oh, my mom just left. And a little tear came down my eyes, and I didn't know what to do. And I was looking around, and my teacher says, everything will be okay. And the problem was is that I didn't understand English. I was just Spanish speaking at the time. And I imagine that's what she said. But by the end of the day, I had learned enough English to just get by with the other students, because there were some pretty neat kids there. They showed me where the water fountain was, where the cafeteria was, and at the schoolyard they helped me play games. And at the end of the day, had made friends, and I was speaking a little bit of English, and I learned really fast. And so school was good for me because I just learned English very fast, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable time in my life from first grade through high school, through 12th grade.
Did you ever get into any fights at school? Any drama?
Well, one time when I was in the 5th grade, I was outside in the yard. It was recess, and a girl tagged me, and she says, "Tag, you're it." And so she ran, and I ran after her and tagged her and said, "You're it." And then I ran, and she tagged me. But then I ran, and she zigged that way while I was zigging that way, and I reached out to touch her and caught her dress and ripped it.
Oh.
And she went crying to the teacher. The teacher sent me to the principal's office, and he looked at me, and he had me sitting there, and I was so nervous. I thought, in those days, the teachers were allowed to paddle children who were naughty. And he asked me what happened, and I told him, and he kind of half smiled. And he said, okay, you can go back to your classroom. He says, try to look sad, okay? Because he didn't do anything to me. He didn't paddle me or anything, but he says, look sad. I still remember saying, oh boy, he didn't hit me. So that was a very memorable time. That was probably the only drama I ever had. One time a kid, when I was in junior high, we were playing basketball. He pushed me, and like for no reason, and I pushed him back, and he wanted to fight, but then the other kids broke it up, and that's it. That was all the drama I had in high school. Oh, there was one more, but that's for another time.
Okay.
No tell.
Okay, you want it? There was this. I don't know why number one, I was a schoolboy. I was getting top grades, A's, almost all A's, some B's. But there was this one guy that was kind of like a little bully, and he wanted to fight me for some reason. I didn't want to fight him, but he kept saying, "I'm going to kick your rear end or butt," or whatever he said.
You would win.
And and I said, I told him anytime, but I didn't really want to fight him, so I avoided him. And this went on for several weeks, where he'd look at me and said, "I'm going to get you." And I go, yeah. And one time it was lunchtime. I went to there was a grocery store across the street, and this friend of mine and I had bought a hot dog at the little hot dog stand outside the store, and we went around the back. We're drinking soda, and this guy shows up with two of his friends, and he looks at me and says, "I'm going to kick your, you know what?" And I put my hot dog down very dramatically. I said, "Okay, I'm tired of this, you know what?" And I got up, and so we squared off, and we started throwing punches, and he landed a couple of really good ones on me, but for some reason they didn't affect me. And I walloped him really hard, and he went back. He staggered back, and then we were going to go at it again. Another kid said, "Here, the police," or the cops. The cops were coming down the alley, and so we broke it up. This guy told me, "This isn't over." I go, "Okay, anytime." But he never came back, and I never sought to fight him. So that was the total extent of my fights in school. Never really fought, just those two quick little incidents.
Okay.
So.
Have you ever fought anyone, Julie?
Zim.
They had a boxing champion, or a boxing tournament, and it turned out Zim was the champion.
Oh, I fought you with pillows.
Who won?
Me.
No.
No, you did probably. Did you ever get into a pillow fight?
No, I don't remember doing that. That was for girls.
What?
I never had a
Pillow
pillow
fights
fight.
can be vicious.
Very,
Nope.
Especially with Caden. You hit the pillow hard on my head.
very violent.
Surprisingly violent. Okay.
What do you remember about your teachers? Any favorite ones?
Yeah, I had some pretty good teachers growing up.
Lucky.
I went to school in California at the time when California was at the top as far as the best schools in the United States. I mean, we were number one as far as people were concerned, because I always used to hear it. California is number one in the States. The teachers were pretty good. I mean, they weren't afraid to teach you moral lessons.
Their
Curriculum is, and their assignments are, but they don't teach them about stuff. I remember when I was in the 5th grade, a teacher had us around, and she says, she had a medicine bottle, a prescription bottle, and she shook it, and she says, "These are drugs. These are drugs that you might see in your house, but they're from a doctor to your mom or your dad, and you are never supposed to take these drugs because they're not for you, and you can get very sick."
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little 5th grade kid, and I just learned that. And later on, I just never took drugs because that one teacher took the time out to tell us that it was not good for you. And I had other moral lessons like that as I grew up, where teachers weren't afraid to tell you right from wrong. And I remember these little things, including all the things my mother used to tell me.
Yeah, I really liked all my teachers. There were
Because you had very good teachers.
my teachers were awesome. I love them.
I had great teachers too. I remember my 12th grade civics teacher she was fantastic, and she wasn't afraid to get in people's faces, and she wasn't afraid to tell us what was right from wrong, tell us not to get into this sort of thing or that sort of thing. She taught us government and everything else, but she also told us, right from wrong, and it was good. That's what we're missing these days in school.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are being more violent and reckless than how the people like you grew up.
Kids are spoiled. Sorry.
Yeah, they're a lot more spoiled now.
Yeah, but they're very spoiled with, like, my mom said, actually, my mom and I, we went to the phone store. I don't know what store it was. And the employee we were talking to said that she saw a mom come in and bought a phone for a 2-year-old. What is a 2-year-old going to do with a phone?
Wow. It's amazing.
When did you get your first phone, Grandpa?
There were no such things as having your own phone growing up. There was a phone inside the house, and nobody had portable phones. Nobody had cell phones. Those things weren't till way after your dad was out of high school. Those things didn't even exist. Another example of teachers, and maybe this is a bad example, but I remember there was again, this was the 5th grade. There was, we had an older woman, gray-haired, and she was kind of stocky, and she was kind of mean, but she was really good in her teaching. There was this boy who was a bully. I mean, he was a real bully. He used to like to push everybody around, including me. And in the classroom, he hit some kid, and he just pushed him. And the kid was kind of upset and was crying a little bit, but the teacher said, "What's wrong?" And then everybody looked at the bully, and the teacher figured out that the bully had just done something to the boy that was crying. So she grabbed a hold of him, and she shook him like a rag doll. He held on to his little his little desk, and she was just shaking. "You do not do that." And she kept doing it, and then the kid, the bully, started crying. I mean, he really started crying. From then on, nobody heard another peep from him because he was afraid of that teacher.
It's good to love, but also be afraid of the discipline.
Yeah.
To have discipline in your classroom.
I don't know. I'm not sure whether that was right or wrong, but it sure worked as far as that kid was concerned. I don't believe in hitting kids and hurting them in any way, but that kid learned an important lesson, life's lesson there, and hopefully he grew up to be a good man.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know his name?
I think it was Hector.
Hector, if you're listening to this, I hope you're a good man now.
Of course.
All because of that teacher.
I just hope he likes chocolate, because if he doesn't like chocolate, then I'm sad.
Do you have a favorite kind of chocolate, Grandpa?
I like white chocolate.
You like white chocolate?
Cho-
That
I like
tastes
w-
good.
I like white chocolate and the milk chocolate
I
also.
love milk.
I like milk dark and white.
So no, it's white chocolate and milk chocolate. Those are my two favorites.
So we have a question from someone in the chat box named
Who-
Kat. We call her Kat. And she's asking, what is your favorite 80s song?
80s song. It would probably have to be something by Phil Collins. I liked Phil Collins as a artist. He was a great singer, and I can't think of any particular song right now, but I remember listening to a lot of his music in the 80s.
What did you listen to music when you were younger?
I didn't start listening to music till I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, and it was on the radio. There was no such thing as portable radios or anything. It was just the radio that was in the kitchen, and my parents had it on country western music. So mostly I remember a singer by the name of Patsy Cline, and to me that's what I grew up on, Patsy Cline music. And she passed away suddenly when her plane crashed, probably around 1960, somewhere around there.
May I answer Kat's question?
Go ahead, Julie.
Okay, you should know this. If you do sing along with me.
Go ahead. Start.
Don't stop believing. That's my favorite 80s song.
Okay.
It's a good. Wait, is it from the 80s, Grandpa? I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's my favorite song that is from a long time ago. Woohoo. Or Listen to Your Heart. Listen to your heart.
What year were you born, Grandpa?
I was born in 1946, the year after World War II ended. I was the first of what's called the baby boomer wave.
What does that mean?
Well, after World War II, all the soldiers came home. They were, married, and they had started having children with their wives. And there were so many of them that came after being gone for so long that there was a big surge in births. And that first surge is called baby boomers, and it lasted for about maybe 5 or more years, I think. And that was called the baby boomers. And the baby boomers are the people that are now retiring, which people keep telling me I should retire.
No, you're still going, 12 times stronger?
You're the strongest of the baby boomers.
I tell people when they ask me, when are you going to retire? I say, well, I think they're going to have to wheel me out feet first. And they go, oh, really? I go, yeah, I love my job. This is what I do.
And he's real good at it.
You're the king of the lawyers and the baby boomers.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say, my gorgeous little granddaughter.
Thank you. We can say Dad's the prince.
Excuse me?
We can say Dad is the prince.
Yes, he is.
And then we're the, great princesses?
Little princesses.
That's weird. I don't like being called princess.
We're
like
the
cowgirl.
grand princesses.
You can call me Ellie.
You can
from
call
a video
me,
game.
I need a name. Domo.
No, I was gonna think you were gonna say
I didn't
Domo.
know.
Just rascal girls as far as I'm concerned.
Oh,
Actually, we're
That-
the
that's
Twister
some-
sisters.
Twister sisters, that's it. Yay.
because we're twister or twisted.
We're twisted and we're sisters. That
What?
doesn't really-
No,
And
I don't like twits. Never mind.
unlikely survivors.
We are.
You are.
You are now actually an unlikely survivor member.
Yay!
Unless, you're like, I quit. But I don't think so.
No, this is kind of fun. I like this.
Can I ask the next question? Because
Sure.
you've been asking them all. Can I ask any question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I sure do. In my family, there were 9 children growing up. 7 boys and 2 girls. One of the boys is now deceased, and the rest of us are still alive and kicking. And I have an older brother. I'm the second oldest. I have a sister that's about a year and 3 months younger than myself, and then a brother right behind her, and he's about 5 years younger than me. Another brother, and that's brother's David, and that's your Uncle David. Then a brother after him, his name is Jesse, it's your Uncle Jess. And then we have my sister, my second sister, and her name was Diana, Aunt Diana for you girls. And then after her was Alan, and that's the brother that passed away. Then after him was Daniel, and then after him was Robert. My sister's name is Yolanda, the one right behind me, and the brother that's older than me is named Xavier. So yes, lots of brothers and sisters.
Though I think Uncle Dave's nickname is Old Goat. Am I correct?
Yes, I call him an old goat, just to see him react. He's a good brother. We are so tight.
Oh, did you have a nickname?
My grandmother called me Miguelito Raton, which means Mickey Mouse.
Aww.
Mickey Mouse.
That's what she called me.
I like Mickey Mouse.
I know a dog named Mickey.
Oh.
Mikey, never mind.
Okay, let's ask the 3 questions. And no, I'm not talking about The Walking Dead.
Go ahead.
What is your favorite book, movie, and TV show? Go.
1 minute.
Oh, book. Okay. East of Eden by John Steinbeck.
That's
I love that book. Best movie, I think, funniest movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And what was the third one?
TV show.
TV shows. I probably like, quite a few. The
Tick, tock.
You can have more
Cheers.
than one.
I love to watch Cheers.
He's actually, I think, the first one to actually take it.
Are you timing this?
No, just, I'm guessing, in a minute. Because everyone usually takes a while.
No.
But you actually got it within a minute. He's the first one. That's good.
Well,
Hey.
high five. Yay.
Air high five.
If I may ask, what is your favorite action movie?
Probably Rambo. Rambo 1.
I've heard about that. No idea what it is.
Me neither.
Either that or Die Hard, the first Die Hard movie. That was pretty exciting.
I think didn't Dad talk about that?
Yeah, he did. I remember that in yesterday's podcast. I was there.
I took your dad to a lot of movies, and he and I still go to a lot of movies together.
Mine is Kill Bill. Woohoo.
You guys go all the time, and you always forget to bring me with you.
Well,
You forget me to sneak in.
we wait till you're taking a nap, and then we cut out early, and we cut out while you're still sleeping.
No,
I used to actually take a nap like once a year, but now I've been taking them more often. Oh, you should put us in a duffel bag and sneak us in the movie along with snacks.
Ooh, have you ever been to Canada?
Yes, I have.
Could you tell us a bit about when you went and where and how was it and how were the people and anything you can think about Canada?
Can. Overall, can you tell us about your Canadian adventures?
Canadian adventures. About, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, your grandmother and I took a flight to Seattle, Washington. And from there, we drove. We rented a car and we drove from Seattle up to Canada, and they let us into the country. Big surprise, And
No passport?
yeah, we had a passport. We had passports, but we visited Vancouver, and it was a beautiful, beautiful city. And we went to these old, famous royal hotels and had high tea, and it was a wonderful adventure. It was the scenery was outstanding. The people were really nice.
That's what I hear.
And it was very clean. It was a very clean city. It was an international, cosmopolitan city with many, many cultures in it. And I could hear many different languages being spoken as I walked down the streets. It was a great experience.
Did you eat any maple syrup while you were there?
I don't remember eating syrup.
No, can you eat syrup? Syrup's more like a topping. And if you did eat syrup alone, would you drink it?
I made some water. I would probably drink it.
I made this much more complicated. Have you ever eaten ketchup chips?
No, I haven't.
They're pretty good.
But I have eaten a, a slice of bread with syrup on it till it's nice and wet, and eat it. Oh, that's a wonderful treat. As a kid, that served as a great dessert sometimes.
I like bread with butter and then sugar.
I used to do that too when I was a kid.
I should do that tonight.
My mother used to say I was going to get diabetes eating that, but I didn't.
No, still going strong too. You eat healthy and you exercise.
I go to the gym every single day.
Oh wow! I thought you only went every once in a while.
Nope, every single day. The only day that I don't do gym is on Wednesday when I go for my what I call my spa day. The other days I go work out with weights and with the cardio machines, but on Wednesday I go into the jacuzzi, relax, and then I go to the steam room and the sauna, and that's my spa day on Wednesday.
I've never been to a spa.
Do you get your nails done too?
Only my toenails.
Actually, I've been to a spa, but I never got an appointment, and I don't really want one.
Did they do your makeup or like style your hair?
No, I don't have any hair to style. And it's a gym. It's a It's a place where you go to work out and exercise. It's not a spa where you go to relax. Although they do have the jacuzzi and the steam room and the sauna, it's not really a spa. It's just nice to relax there sometimes.
Is Wednesday your favorite day of the week?
I would say so. Just kick back and relax and wondering what am I going to do today in court.
Oh, our little dog is in the room.
It's Cindy.
I had a question. Do you do any swimming or?
I've done swimming at the gym. It's called In Shape, the gym, and they have a nice pool. And I did some swimming a little while ago, but then I switched over to other things.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my dog real quick because
I didn't mean to kick her.
Yeah, I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
Okay, I need to think of an intelligent question.
Do I like my granddaughters? Yeah, kind of, sort of. No, I love having granddaughters so close to me and being able to be part of their lives and have me be part of their lives. Because I never had that with my grandparents. And I would visit every now and then, but it wasn't that often. And I didn't get to know them that well. But with you two, it's been just wonderful seeing you from the first day that you were born to now that you're teenagers. It's just been the most wonderful experience in my life.
Thank you.
You have been the best of our lives.
Do you like your sons?
Yes, I do like my sons. They're both very mature. They're very together. They both have their careers, and I'm happy. They didn't get arrested and have a criminal record, and all in all, we've had a good life together.
Yay!
That's good. Are you happy with your cat?
My cat, her name is Dusty Rose. I call her Puma for mountain lion because she looks like a little mountain lion. So I call her Puma, and she's funny. She's a really active cat, and she climbs all over. And when I'm asleep, sometimes she comes and puts her little paw in my face and say, "Hey, wake up!" And I shake her off, and she keeps bugging me, and so I just pick her up while I'm asleep and just toss her across the room, and then she'll come back and bug me some more. And after I've tossed her 2 or 3 times, she leaves me alone. But she's a really good cat. She eats really well, and she's pretty. I take a lot of pictures of her.
And she eats anything. She's eating Pop-Tarts.
I know the cat we had before her would not touch anything but her the food that we gave her from the science diet. But this one will eat her science diet, but she will eat crackers and cookies, ice cream, you name it, Pop-Tarts,
bread. I think so.
Anyway, that's our little Puma.
Meat.
Wait, what?
Meat.
Well, yeah.
Everyone loves meat.
Oh, I did know that Catalea liked cheese.
Oh,
cheese and pot pies.
Yeah, Catalea, the cat before this one, would eat cheese. She loved cheese. She wouldn't eat anything else other than her diet. And Pop-Tarts, she would lick the gravy out of the Pop-Tart when we were done with the Pop-Tart. No, pot pie. I'm sorry, not Pop-Tart. Pot pie. She'd eat the gravy when we put the little bowl down, or little container down. She would lick it and eat it. But this one is, she's likes to bug you. She'll come in if you open something. As soon as she hears a crinkle, she's right there.
She is.
What have you got? What do you got for me? Yeah.
Very cute. Very cuddly kitty.
Imagine a gravy Pop-Tart.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I sometimes I make big boo-boos like that.
So we've been going on 35 minutes, and before we end, we'd like to say thank you so much, Grandpa.
Yes.
I know that everyone, and including us, but you know us like, I don't know, 24 times more.
And
Love you more.
I thank both of you. I take back everything I said about you girls. You girls are actually wonderful.
Thank you. And I take back everything I said about you.
Oh my
Just kidding.
goodness. Thanks.
Her comebacks.
Dun dun.
Bye.
Oh, I still have to thank everyone else.
All right.
Thank you everyone who came to watch and listen to us. We really appreciate it. Be sure to look out for our next podcast. Subscribe, and you'll see us soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Meow.
Done?